This type of uproar in the courtroom was not expected. As the tension mounted and the cameras filmed, Chrissy made a startling revelation that astonished everyone. She glared at the judge before turning to Jim Jones and calmly disclosing what fans had been conjecturing for many years: a secret relationship with Cameron. There were gasps all around the room. Jim's face went pale. The entire courtroom was in a standing position. Bones were whipped out. In addition, the footage was released within minutes. Jim Jones' reality did not just fall apart, it's blown up. Social media is completely functional. Meltdown. Fans are shouting betrayal, while disgruntled insiders are pulling away. That's only the surface. You will, however, hear something far more meaningful: multiple confessions. This was not merely a sincere betrayal. It was a trap, a setup, and a premeditated bomb ready to go off. Thus, buckle up, because the riddles you are going to uncover reach all the way back to Harlem's streets. You'll see why Jim Jones might have truly lost everything after watching this video. But you won't believe what happened when Cameron responded. Everything has changed. By doing that, let's begin now. We need to trace the beginnings of this intricate chain back in time. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin weren't your normal hip-hop team, so it's important to understand the gravity of Chrissy's revelation. They were well known. For over a decade, they were at the center of the most divisive metropolitan cultures. Romantic connections. Every action they make has captured the attention of fans. Their relationship was hot, turbulent, and addicting. And it played out like a movie. From passionate love scenes on reality TV to furious arguments that nearly led to their breakup. Jim was a streetwise rapper from Harlem who later became a businessman. Chrissy, the fiery, unyielding woman, kept him grounded all the time. Despite family conflicts, public scrutiny, and both obvious and subtle betrayals, they stayed together. Thus far, however, this is where things become complicated. Add quotations for Cam Single here. Ron, Cam, and Jim were more than just friends. They were brothers in the military and co-founders of everything but DNA, such as Dipset and Blood Brothers. In the dark streets of Harlem, their relationship was founded on loyalty, money, and music. But behind the scenes, rage has been seething. For years, power battles, ego clashes, and business betrayals collapsed. Once among the closest hip-hop gangs, as per insiders claim that when Chrissy supposedly began spending more time with Coleman during Jim's tours, the fractures really began to show. The whispers were hardly audible at first. Nothing concrete had emerged thus far, but something didn't seem right. Back then, it was written off as just another argument and a diet drama. But there was something much more personal smoldering. In the background, Jim and Cam were no longer in regular contact. It's rare to see them together. Behind closed doors, their shared friends were forced to take sides. Then, according to those with knowledge of the situation, the infamous Las Vegas weekend of 2017, the one nobody talks about, Cam and Chrissy were observed departing at 3 a.m. in a private lounge. The M-Gym was apparently nowhere to be found. Rumors surfaced on blogs the next morning, but they were quickly disproved. Denials came fast. Damage control was activated. That old story doesn't seem convincing now that Chrissy has made her shocking admission in public court. Instead, it seems to be proof. Even worse, connections weren't even the planned focus of the litigation. Amidst a financial crisis, the whole dispute broke out over assets and property associated with Jim and Chrissy's joint investments. But in a tense time when there were cameras everywhere and reporters in the hallway, Casey lost control. She admitted it. Work broke out in the courtroom. I am no longer able to lie. There was a connection between Cameron and me. There are reports of chaos. Jim slammed the door behind him and stormed out. It was too late when court staff tried to restore order. The damage was already done. This was no longer just a private matter. With SP, a legacy started to disintegrate in real time and was exposed to the public. Additionally, Chrissy sparked almost 10 years of history. With a single statement, Watts thought prompted her to speak at this moment. Was it guilt, pressure, or something far darker? We're just getting started. The story went viral after Chrissy confessed in court. You can think of anything. Her trembling voice in the courtroom gasp was caught on camera, and the video went viral. Blogs, vlogs, social media, lines, etc. Globally, that hashtag Chrissy and Cam gained popularity. Clarification was demanded by fans. Memes took over the timeline. Jim Jones didn't say anything, but his silence said a lot. Many people didn't realize, though, that Chrissy's disclosure wasn't made on the spur of the moment. According to someone allegedly close to her legal team, the reveal was part of a planned emotional release. In other words, she was under pressure, and her attorneys thought she was showing signs of fragility. The judge expressed sympathy for her despite her ongoing financial difficulties. Jim has been trying to get a substantial amount back. He claimed that the property was fully in his name. Chrissy retorted that they had worked together to build their fortune. But in an effort to keep their personal problems out of it, she ultimately blew it. The public's opinion of them is generally very favorable. In private, Jim was enraged. He allegedly demolished a courthouse dressing room. Security was called, according to multiple accounts. They let him out the back door. He allegedly told a staff worker, "I ain't never coming back," which is the first twist. Here again, a few hours after the disclosure, an anonymous Instagram user disclosed a slew of direct messages between Chrissy and Cameron from 2016. There were flirty messages. Some are obviously, some are suggestive, while others are incriminating. "Cam, you've always been able to communicate with me. Jimmy doesn't pay attention." Another Vegas was an error. It stated, "Maybe it wasn't. I was alive again." Following the leak, fans went bananas. Everywhere. Screenshots were posted. The direct messages were posted and deleted multiple times. There were rumors that the camp dips were Cameron's uncanny quiet, which only served to deepen their division. Jel Santana tweeted, then deleted it. "This has nothing to do with me. I'm here because of the music." Meanwhile, Chrissy's Remy Ma, a close friend, went live on Instagram. Her eyes grew wide. "I told her not to say that in court. But people are only partially aware of Chrissy's horrible experiences." What took place after that? On Instagram Live, Jim broke his quiet and paced about, clearly furious. A new video from a 2021 Atlanta Love and Hip Hop afterparty has emerged. In the shoddy cell phone footage, Jim could be heard screaming at Chrissy and accusing her of repeatedly looking for anything better. "I wanted someone to notice me," she said. "You never did." Additionally, it became viral on social media. Wrecking ball. Each frame, and on fan pages, each expression was examined. On TikTok, conspiracy theories, reenactments, and commentary proliferated. Some users even discovered earlier podcast talks when Chrissy made references to emotional separation. But the disclosure came after Lil Taz, a former Dia collaborator, released a 3-minute video detailing a meeting he allegedly saw in 2018. He said, "I was there," on the video. Cam told Jimmy straight out, "Someone else will if you continue to treat her that way." Jimmy laughed it off. "Make a joke. We weren't in the same room together again after that." This was suddenly more than just a controversy. Man. Transformed into an unbridled ego mirror. Unresolved trauma and power dynamics. The entire business community was watching. People start to drift away. Cardi B chose the other path and tweeted, "But there's no need to ruin each other in public." 50 Cent even responded with a meme that stated, "Damn, Jimmy." There were 2 sections in the comment area. Jim's followers said the affair was unacceptable while defending him. Some said that Cam and Chrissy had suffered too much. Ron simply gave her the care she so sorely required. In the midst of all this chaos, Chrissy remains silent despite the fact that private betrayal has given birth to public therapy. Not a single post or tweet. Up till the 3rd, courts in the morning. She seemed to be dressed entirely in black. Reporters were told to let the truth finish speaking. There was no entourage or glamour. The fire had begun. But all of a sudden, spreading like petrol on a dry brush, every entertainment publication, including TMZ and The Shade, featured this news as their headline. Daytime talk shows examined every statement Chrissy gave in court. Radio DJs pulled callers. To ascertain who was actually at blame, there was also turmoil on the internet. There are conflicting groups within the media. At the same time, the hashtags #Team Chrissy and #Chrissy betrayed Jim and became popular on Twitter. Hundreds of each was fueled by thousands of tweets. Some of Chrissy's followers defended her, arguing that emotional neglect is a kind of betrayal. 1. You're upset with Chrissy for pursuing love when Jim ignored her for years. If you've never felt invisible in a relationship, don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Others were furious. According to the widely shared tweet, felt invisible in a relationship. You don't work with your man's sibling behind his back. That is betrayal, not heartbreak. The most recent images on Chrissy and Jim's Facebook were filled with various hand and prayer emojis. Comment sections on Instagram served as battlegrounds. Bloggers and influencers rushed in to use their power. A few provided insider information, while others merely repeated the turmoil in order to get clicks, which led to snake emojis and broken hearts. The most shocking response, though, might have come from Dipset hero Cameron, who broke his digital fast by sharing an old Dipset on Instagram after going days without saying anything. The caption for one of his photos reads, "Some bonds ain't never been real." Over 3 million people liked and commented on Jim and Wells' post in only 6 hours. It's true. Then he took both your girl and your legacy. Did you not know? All along, when Jim Jones unfollowed Cameron and subsequently deleted nearly all of his Instagram posts, the streets took a turn for the worse. Take note of the crossed-out red X's. Chrissy and Cam were positioned under a strangely spray-painted mural of Harlem's Dipper 3 overnight. Meanwhile, Tamar Braxton and other celebrities shared their thoughts. The bold tweet, "I was gagged by that courtroom scene," used the word treachery. The hosts of the Funkmaster Flex podcast, went crazy about Dipset's greatest hits during his performance, but I'm hoping they all become better. "Man, I don't even know if I can bump these like I used to," he said, pausing in the middle. "You turned every moment into clickbait." Chrissy, who was doomed from the start, crushes Cameron, Jim Jones, the real MVP, and the villain, controlled too, MBN nil. Even behind the scenes, Kadu indicated that big brand deals related with when fans of Love and Hip Hop demanded that producers bring Chrissy, Jim, and Cam together for an unrestricted reunion program. Jim and Chrissy were placed on hold for re-evaluation. Rumors circulated that Jim had been pulled from a fashion partnership and that Chrissy's sponsorships were being closely monitored. Sneaker partnership. But in the middle of it all, a single voice startled everyone right away. When Mama Jones, Jim's fiery mother, took to Facebook Live, she didn't hold back. "I told my kid that the girl had never cherished him. I immediately cautioned him. A wobbly throne is not the foundation for a queen." In less than an hour, it went viral because it was brutally honest, unvarnished, and raw. Chrissy said nothing, but Cam posted an enigmatic video. Showed himself sipping a dark beverage in the studio to the sound of a brand new tune. The phrases, "The comment rocked the business. I suppose I gave it all away if loyalty was worth money." Supporters were split, but one thing was certain. This was not the end. By no means, just when everyone thought Chrissy and Jim Jones's enterprise had fallen apart, a new recording appeared. This one would blow everything's lid off. An anonymous source revealed a 90-second voicemail purportedly between Chrissy and a close pal. The voice was unpolished and tremulous, but it was unmistakably Chrissy's. "I wasn't the only one. Jim would never do what Cam promised me. I did it." Then it felt like a blow to the abdomen. Fans immediately began speculating. After that line, was this a premeditated betrayal? Had Cameron planned this for years? Was the Vegas weekend merely an error or the beginning of a long-term issue? Planned to pilfer everything from Jim, even his cherished. Then came the final twist. They found screenshots from a private Facebook group, connected to a former associate of a member of the small, close-knit group that was meant to be kept confidential. The post was just a few weeks old. "Cam has been engaging in chess games. Jimmy is playing checkers out here." Prior to the court hearing, Chrissy wasn't the first to move. The events were drastically altered by this discovery. As the confession, belief, and betrayal spread, more voices joined the chaos. You have no idea how deep this is. Cam has been waiting years to exact revenge on Jim. "This isn't just," said a well-known Harlem promoter. "It's about a girl. It's about the empire." Suddenly, the narrative was completely reversed. Was Chrissy in the middle of the storm? Was Jim also a pawn? Fans flooded Jim's latest post with comments saying, "I lost the woman. I lost the crew. But I found the truth." Koeman planning something even more vicious than anyone had anticipated. Blind to see it coming, many urged, "Watch who you call brother," as theories spiraled out of control. Asked for answers, there were no more posts or disclosures after that, up till an enigmatic poster began circulating online with 3 words written in black, red block letters. Dipset reunion. Boss scan is not complete. Assess? Just the names, no date or location. Jim Jones Gamry Lamp. Was it going to be the next big thing, or was it just a marketing ploy? Everyone was watching, but nobody knew, and the drama ended suddenly. The breakdown, the affair, the betrayal, and a reunion flyer that may spark a world with more queries than responses. A battle that didn't appear to be coming to an end, and more misery than resolution. Now is your moment. Do you think Chrissy truly loved Kano? One more explosion. Was Cam going for the long haul? Was Jim involved in something bigger than even he could have imagined? Or was she just trying to hurt him one final time? Is anyone getting over this level of betrayal? Right now, feel free to express your thoughts in the comments. All of your ideas, opinions, and genuine allegiances are welcome to be heard. Team, don't forget to like this video if you're as amazed as we are. Team Chaos, Team Chrissy, or Jim. You have trust that this is not the end of the story. So if you have read this far, please click the subscribe button and enable the notifications. Not by a wide margin. We've eyes and ears on the court, in the studio, and resources ready to uncover even more exclusive details in the coming days. You won't want to pass it up. What comes next? Streets are talking to each other. Corporate community is watching, and all of the receipts are right here. Keep an eye out for what could be the most incendiary chapter yet. Thank you for reading. As always, keep your ears open and your ideas sharp. Are open and your loyalty was scrutinized because gaming trust is the first thing to vanish in this situation. Game faith is the first item to vanish, the first thing to go. This type of uproar in the courtroom was not expected. While the cameras were rolling as the tension grew, Chrissy abruptly said something startling that astonished everyone. She glared at the judge before turning to Jim Jones and coolly disclosing what fans had been wondering about for years: a secret relationship with Cameron. There were gasps all around the room. Jim's face went pale. The entire courtroom was in a standing position. Bones were whipped out. In addition, the footage was released within minutes. Jim Jones's reality did not just fall apart. It's blown up. Social media is up and running. Meltdown? Insiders who are fans are shouting treachery, and angry people are That's only the surface. However, you will hear multiple confessions that are far more deep. This was not merely a sincere betrayal. It was a trap, a setup, and a premeditated bomb ready to go off. The mysteries you are about to uncover go all the way back to the streets of Harlem, so buckle in. Watching this video will help you understand why Jim Jones might have truly lost everything. But you won't believe what happened when Cameron responded. That changed everything. Let's begin now. We have to travel back in time to find the beginnings of this intricate chain. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin weren't your normal hip-hop team, so it's important to understand the gravity of Chrissy's revelation. They were well known as they were at the center of the most divisive metropolitan cultures. For over a decade, romantic connections. Every action they make has captured the attention of fans. From ardent affection scenes from contentious reality, TV conflicts that nearly led to them to break up. Their bond was intense, disorderly, and compulsive, and it developed like a motion picture.